Hello, hello, hello. Today we're gonna be going over my personal top 5 recommended steel ships in World of Warships. We see here the beautiful Loria that was the newest edition of the steel ships. So let's hop right into it and look at my personal top 5 steel ships in the game. Right off the bat, we got a lot of choices here to choose from. A lot of beautiful choices, except for you. We hate you. I can't believe anyone would own a Gato. Yep. At this point, any person that owns a Gato, especially a steel one, I don't know what, I don't know. I don't know what to do with them at this point. We need a bit of a personal judgment on people that own steel Gatos, but yep, unfortunately, but anyway, let's move back to our our top 5 steel ships. So first choice of the top 5, it's gotta be all reliable Stalingrad. Stalingrad is still one of the best clan battle cruisers, especially since they ban every other optimized cruiser at this point or nerf them to the ground. But Stalingrad is definitely one of the better choices out of the steel ships at this point. A lot of fun to play. The AP that packs a punch can dev strike the cruiser destroyer, the dev striker. AT is also really nice as well. Very strong ship. Very nice. Very nice. I do love me some Russian bias picks and the beautiful. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's a very beautiful ship. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Definitely one of the best steel ships in the game at this point. Beautiful, just gorgeous, gorgeous. And you guys can fight me on that in the comment section if you think otherwise. The next steel ship I would recommend is going to be the Ragnar. We've seen Ragnars change competitive play when it was first introduced. You don't see them as pronouncedly now, but if you look at any gameplay surrounding DDs, if you say like in King of the Seas, which yeah, that was an interesting King of the Seas change that they're going to be doing. Very interesting. But overall, the Ragnar is one of the top tier 10 DDs in the game currently. Very strong. It can be a great DD hunter, good cap controller, while also being able to be just a heavy HE farmer on battleships and cruisers alike at the long distance. These 152s on this thing just pack a wallop, and they give no shits on who is on the receiving end of them. They also get a nice heal as well, and a 7.5 kilometer radar, which is really nice as well. So that is 2 of our steel picks so far. We have the Ragnar and Stalingrad. The next choice out of the top 5 recommended steel ship is going to be the Burgoyne, the old reliable Burgoyne. Burgoyne has been in the game for, man, almost as long as the Stalingrad at this point. It's been in the game for a pretty long time, and not many people talk about the Burgoyne, but it's pretty legendary in what it's capable of. A really fun to play ship, very maneuverable. The 380s on this thing can really pack a punch with a good HE and AP that are able to dev strike some cruisers if you're not careful. Definitely one of the old reliables out of the steel pick at this time. The reason why I like picking the Burgoyne over, say, like a Mecklenburg for the top 5 is mainly just because of how maneuverable the Burgoyne is. No one, if you're a higher skill player, you definitely know how important being maneuverable is. So being able to move from flank to flank to be able to help support your team, definitely in randoms or even in ranked, is really important. In clan battles, I haven't seen too many Burgoynes in this current clan battle season. I haven't seen too many, but I know Stalingrads are really popular right now in clan battles for sure. But Burgoynes, I haven't really seen as many of them, unfortunately. So we got the Ragnar, Stalingrad, and Burgoyne as our top 3. Now for the other 2 for the top 5. Ooh, this is going to be really really tough for me to pick. Oh, this is like really, really rough. But I'm gonna say the Loria. The Loria is really a really strong battleship in the right hands. Those 457 SAP rounds, oh, you just do so much damage when you slap someone with them. And also the AP as well. Can't forget the AP. The major downside of the Loria, though, is that really above water citadel. Pretty much, and the thing is, though, even though it has an above water citadel, if you're sitting to where you're able to get citadeled like that, like, yeah, you kind of deserve it. But this plate, though, you just gotta be really careful with it. But that sap AP combo is so strong. The problem is, though, with it is that it doesn't have a lot of HP, so you can't be as like brutally aggressive with it like you can with other battleships. But the guns on this thing are just mwah, the chef's kiss. They get the nice Chef Boyardee every time you give them one of those nice kissers. So we have the Stalingrad, Ragnar, Bagone, and Loria as the top four. Now, for the final one, it's a really tough one. It's really tough because at this point you have the Z42, which is a really good DD on its own, really good cap control, really good HE and AP. This one's a really good ship. Austin's a lot of fun to play with its reload booster for the guns, great HE and great sap. Incomparable is a lot of fun as well with the derp cannons on this thing. Great concealment that's better than a Des Moines. It's a 10.6 concealment. Really fun to play in randoms. The major downside of the Incomparable in Austin is that Incomparable these days is only really good at randoms. You try to take an Incomparable into ranked or clan battles, it's not going to have the tankiness that you need for it to be able to survive. If it gets spotted at all, it has such weak armor, it just gets absolutely devastated. It's not going to do well at all. Austin can be fun in randoms. It can be a lot of fun. In ranked, it can also be memeish too, but for clan battles, you're not going to see the Austin played that much just due to the fact that it's such a weak armored ship and doesn't have much utility to be used. It only has Hydra on it. It doesn't have radar to help spot. So it's mostly just a DPM ship, and there are better DPM cruisers that can do that job. But most of the time in clan battles or, you know, tourneys, you need a cruiser that has utility, that has radar, hydro, something like a Plymouth. A Plymouth has hydro and radar and smoke. It has all three. It's a magic. It's a duo. Even though I don't have it, but it can still, it's a better option than say like an Austin for clan battles. Pretty much you're going to do that. So for the final option for top 5, I would honestly say would be the Mecklenburg. The Mecklenburg is a lot of fun. It's good for randoms. It's good for ranked. It can put out a lot of damage. Consistent, it fires good. It's very accurate shells. Even though the guns on this thing are smaller on the Mecklenburg, even though they are smaller, they are 305s, they can still pack a wallop on cruisers, battleships, because just how accurate the Mecklenburg is. It's one of the more accurate battleships with having this many guns. It's an insanely good ship for randoms, ranked, and clan battles as well. Now, you can go, now, out of that out of the way, let's just have some fun here. Shikishima legit is just, it's fun to play too, but it's more of the secondary cousin of the Yamato. You can build the Shikishima for, like, you can build a Yamato, but with secondaries. I've had so many instances with Shikishima where the guns just split. It's like it does a derp with the shells and they don't go anywhere. 75% of the time I play this ship, I get like no good salvos, and then the 25% of the time when you do get good salvos, it's like magic. It's awesome. It's amazing. So good. The incomparable, you can, like, this ship is still fun to this day, but the problem is, though, is that this ship has always been a ship that is very susceptible to being spotted early. It does have a very good concealment, but if you get spotted early by, say, well, now there's subs to deal with. Normally, if you had a CV in this in your match when you're playing an incomparable, you're just not going to have a good time. This thing relies heavily on its stealth to do well, and if you don't have that stealth being able to be used, you are suffering. You're not going to be able to do that much in the match. You're going to be fired upon the whole time because the ship doesn't have the best armor. That superstructure is massive, and they can get pin damage all over the place. So good luck playing this thing currently in randoms. You can get some good matches with it, but at the same time, it's not going to be all the time. Say like a Burgoyne or a Mecklenburg. That is for damn sure. Now, the Z42 was a really close pick to my top 5 recommended. I do love playing the Z42. It's a lot of fun to play, but the Ragnar with that extra, like with that radar and how good it can farm at long distance just makes it a way better pick over the Z42 for competitive. But Z42's, it's still there. It's still a good pick. If I had a top 6 or a top 7 steel ships, this ship would definitely be on there. It's like right there, right behind the Mecklenburg, right behind there. It's a really good ship, has 6-kilometer hydro, good short burst smoke to be able to pop in and out of battle quickly. Amazing for sure. If I did have a top 7, I would also put the Plymouth on there. Even though the Plymouth a lot of people kind of shit on at this point, it can be a lot of fun to play, and it's very consistent in its performance. It does have the nice hydro, nice radar, good smoke, and it has an AP. It does have AP only, but that AP only is really effective in slapping DDs, cruisers, and BBs alike. It shows no mercy in who it deals with damage to. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who it does damage to. It's going to do damage to something. All right. And with all these being talked about, we have to talk about the Vallejo. A lot of people see the Vallejo and they're like, "Oh, it's a tier 9. You don't want to pick it." This thing has a lot of DPM. It has the special spotter plane on it, where it gives it, what does it do again? It's the quick takeoff. It's the gimmick where it has a quick takeoff and the quick landing of the, like a quick spotter. So like they have a quick takeoff and landing, so you boost the range by 20%. So you have the action time at 78 seconds and you get a cooldown of 9.5 seconds. Of course, when you have a commander, that's going to be better, but with this, it's just a lot of fun to play as an open range farmer. It's also a nice crew trainer as well, and since it is a tier 9, it is the only steel ship with the enhanced credit earnings. It is the only one with the enhanced credit earnings. All the other steel ships do not get it. Only the Vallejo does, just because it is a tier 9. Tier 10 ships do not get a credit earning. I had to think about that for a second to make sure, but no, there is no tier 10 with the credit earning. Only tier 9s do. So there you go. Anyway, moving on from the Vallejo. Yeah, if you have the FDR, I hate you. Why get the FDR at this point when you can get the Malta? Pretty much everyone was complaining how evil the FDR was, right? I remember that. Everyone was complaining, "Oh my god, there's an FDR. Oh my god. It's so bad." And then they introduced the Malta, and instantly everyone's like, "Oh, FDR isn't that bad. We have Maltas to deal with now." Pretty much was the new CV to just, it's, "Oh yeah, you guys don't like FDR? Let's just add in Malta. You know, let's just add in that little spice on there." And we're not talking about the U-45. I hate you. That ship is a monster to the game. I don't know why they introduced it. We were trying so hard not to let them introduce this ship to the game. I remember when this thing was first in testing, we were just like yelling at them. Ugh. I'm talking publicly yelling at them. We were like, "Please do not introduce this ship to the game." Please don't. We don't want it. This thing is a monster. Please don't. And they did anyway. And yep. Fun times, fun times. But Gato, yeah, I don't wanna talk about why I have a steel Gato. I don't want to talk about it. I do want to say though, if you put a steel camo onto any ship, it gives it it gives it a battleship horn, by the way. So you can put a battleship horn on any ship by just putting a steel camo on it as a meme. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. But anyway, that is my top 5 steel recommended ships. If you guys have any questions or concerns, definitely let me know in the comments down below. But thank y'all for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.